Hello student, last time we discussed about the class diagram. Okay, we already discussed about the what is UML. Full form of the UML is asked in the many exams, unified modeling language. Okay, so this is very useful for the exam point of view. And what is the class diagram? That in class diagram there are three entity will be available. One is a class name, which is in the top section. The second point is attributes, or you can say property of the class, that is in the middle section. Third one is behavior or operation of method of the class, which is bottom of the section. Okay, let's see on the diagram. If you can see in the diagrams, the first one is class name, second part is a attributes of the class, and third part is operation, or you can say the behavior of the class. Okay, so this is the class diagram. Okay, there are three different sections. Okay, class name, attributes, and behavior or operations. Okay, and another point is a syntax. Okay, and visibility of the class. Okay, that is very important in the exams. First we discuss about the syntax. What is the syntax? Visibility, attribute name, attribute data type, and initial value. If you see over here, the whatever syntax written in the square bracket are optional, and user is supposed to specify the value for items enclosed in the angle brackets. Whatever the value have to mention by the user, that is written in the angular bracket, and the square bracket is not a useful, or you can say that is the optional one. Okay, and another point is visibility. That is the very important points for the exams point of view. So many times this will ask in the exams. Visibility can be private, protected, public, or you can say package. They represent in the different symbols. Okay, you can see at the bottom I mentioned the box over here, visibility, and opposite side I mentioned the symbols. Okay, so private visibility symbol is dash, protected visibility symbol is hash, public visibility symbol is plus, package visibility symbol is tilt. Okay, so these are the visibility and their symbols. Okay, and here it mentions the desk, that means private, balance, and these are the syntax whatever we mention over here. Attribute names over here, balance, then attribute data type, which is float, equal to initial value. Okay, which is 0.0. So here I mention the value in angular bracket. Okay, so initial value is 0.0. So these are the syntax and the visibility and their symbols. See over here, there are two different class will be available, P1 and P2, P1 person and P2 person, and look at their attributes or characteristics is a different. Okay, here the name of the person P1 is different, and here name of the person P2 is different, but this object remains same, like name, city, gender, birth date, profession, which is same for the both class, but their value is changed. Okay, value means this one, name, Ahmedabad, city is changed. Okay, so there are the value is changed, but these attributes, these remain the same. Now we come to the third part about the encapsulation. So what is encapsulation? So encapsulation is computer program. Two core elements are data and functions, or you can say data and the method that manipulate that data are guarded against the modification or misuse by other components of the program. Okay, that means there are many object or many programs is available in the single class will be available. So what exactly happen in the encapsulation? The other class data is not enter in the main class, okay, and not modify the current class data, okay. That means provide the protection to particular data and method, okay, that we can call as a encapsulation, okay. This is possible by wrapping the data and method into single unit known as a class and declaring them as a private. Private member of the class are not available directly to outside the world. Okay, whatever the data we mention or whatever the member we mention as a private, that are not available directly outside, okay. The data is made available via public method. Thus encapsulation provides data hiding capability. So what data encapsulation is doing? Data encapsulation is doing the hiding the data capability, okay. We will study about class and private public data and method in later chapters, okay, that we discuss in the next chapters. So this is about the encapsulation. That means they hide the data, okay. Now another point is data abstraction. Data abstraction is a process of representing the essential feature of the object without including implementation detail. Abstraction is a concept that hides the complexity. Data abstraction, that means that hide the complexity, and whatever the internal process is there, that process is hide, okay. Let's see the one example, live example about the television set, okay. We can turn on the television, we turn off the television, we can change the channels also, but we can't modify the program in the particular channels. Same way, if I am on the television, that time I am unable to find whether signal is receiving to the television or whether signal is received from the television, that I am not find out it, okay. So this is the data abstraction, and the data abstraction provide the skeleton or templates for our use. The system hides certain details of how data is stored, created and maintained. All that is visible to the rest of the world is the abstract behavior of data type. Details of how that behavior implemented are hidden so that they can be changed as per the need without impacting other. So simple ways data abstraction provide the hide the certain details. Whatever the details want to hide it, particular detail is hidden. And abstraction data types, the full form is asked in the many exams. Abstract data types, what is the full form of ADT? So you can note down it. Abstract data types, ADT or structures in C++ class, in C++ Java are example of data abstraction, okay. So this full form is asked in the many exams. The basic difference between data encapsulation and data abstraction is encapsulation protect data by making them inaccessible from outside, and abstraction enables the represent data in which implementation details are hidden. So encapsulation is nothing but protect the data by like another program want to access the another class data, then it's unable to fetch the data due to encapsulation. So they make protected, and abstraction enable the represent data in which the implementation detail are hidden. Okay, so details are hidden, that is abstract. Okay, data abstraction. Now another point is messaging. What is messaging? In object oriented terminology, a call to method is referred to message. Okay, in previous slide we learned about what is encapsulation. In encapsulation they protect to their data. Okay, now how to fetch that data? So based on the messaging, or you can say all method calls are handled by object that recognize the method. So in encapsulation the data is protected. Now I want to fetch that data, so method call are handled by the object. Okay, different class may have same method with same name. For example of class date has method name display that display the date object in specific format. Suppose there are other class time and person both having the method with the same name. Okay, so there are three class like date, time and person, and with the same name, with the both having the method with the same name display, and we call from all the class. Okay, with the same name we can call all the class, display time in specific format, and to display the detail of person respectively. When method display is invoked in the program, how know which method is to executed? This is determined using the object that invokes the method. For example, if display is called by an object of person class, it executes the display method defined in the person class. Same way, if display is called by object of the time, so it executed the display method defined by the time class. So whatever class is defined, from that the data is fetched, even though same method is applied. Okay, then also it execute with the particular class only. Okay, now another point is polymorphism. Polymorphism means many forms. Name itself suggests polymorphism. Okay, there may be different forms of a single method or operation. Let's see the one examples. Assume that we return function name max that finds the maximum two numbers. If I apply the two integer in the if I apply the two integer, then I get a maximum value among the two integers. If I apply the 4 integer, then I get a maximum value among the 4 integer. So there are the different forms will be available. Okay, like a 2 integer, 4 integer, 6 integer, 8 integer, but the main function is same. Okay, max is the same function. So it takes array and its size parameter and return maximum integer. It possible to define more than one function with the same name. In some programming language, the answer to this question is no, but object oriented programming, the answer is yes, as long as the method differs in the signature. Signature is nothing but the value, or you can say number and type of parameter. Now another point is function overload or method overload. Okay, object oriented programs allow defining more than one method having the same name but different signature. Okay, recently we see the example of display, but in that signature, that means value is different. Okay, in a single class we use the same name like a display, but their value is different, or you can say signature is different. So that feature we can call as a function overloading. Okay, another point is operator overloading. Same way, we in function overloading, function remains same, just value is changed. Okay, signature is changed. Same way in operator overloading, if you see over here, date 1 subtract date 2 is subtract from date 1. Okay, date 1 subtract date 2. So here date 1 and date 2 is a operand and subtract is a operator. Okay, so you can see here where both operands are object of class date. Date 1 and date 2 are object of class date. Now here operation subtract is a performed in a way different than performing subtraction on two numbers. Say n1 minus n2. Suppose two numbers is there like 100 and 50. Then this one is the different one and date 1 minus date 2 is a different. Okay, different operation. Here same operation is given different meaning depending upon the data type of operand used. This type of polymorphism we can call as a operator overloading. Okay, so these are the main type of the overloading and function overloading and operator overloading. Here this is the diagram of the polymorphism. We discuss about the same function like a shape draw, but there are the different forms will be available. Okay, like a triangle draw, rectangular draw, circle draw. So these are the polymorphism examples. Now another point is aggregation and composition. So what is aggregation and composition? When object of one class are composed of object of other class. So one class object are composed of object of other class. It's called aggregation or composition. Okay, it represent as a or a part of relationship between class. Let's see the example so you get a better idea. For example of motherboard is a part of a computer. Okay, here mention a part of relationship. Okay, that means motherboard is a part of computer. Now we know computer is composed of many parts like motherboard, screen, keyboard, mouse. Screen itself may be class with attributes like length, width and model. Okay, so you can consider screen is a class and their attributes like length, width, model. Similar way, motherboard may be defined as a class with different attributes like a model and company. When we define class computer, it will contains attributes that are object of class motherboard and screens. Okay, thus it implements containment. Okay, so both is included in the main class computer. So motherboard attributes and screen attributes both are the part in the computer class. Let's us modify the class person discussed before. The first of all we will define two new class, name and address. Okay, in the below diagram, class name has a attribute first name, middle name and last name. Class address has attributes house, street, city, state and pin code. Now let us modify class person and change the name of the attributes, attribute name and address, name and address respectively. So if you see in the person class, the name and address is mentioned over here. Name is a class and address is class, so both is contained over here. The data type of attributes nm and address is class name and address respectively. Okay, thus class person contains object of class name and address. So what exactly happen if we mention nm, means we mention name and address in the person class, that means whatever the attribute in the name class and whatever the attributes in the address class, that are the part of the person class. Okay, now come to the example of aggregation and composition. Aggregation represent non-exclusive relationship between two classes. In aggregation, the class that forms part of the owner class that can exist independently. The life of the object of the part class is not determined by the owner class. For example, although motherboard is a part of computer, okay, motherboard is a part of computer, it can exist as a separate item independently of the computer. Motherboard is also separate part, okay, other than the computer, then also it exists. Okay, thus motherboard is not a exclusive associate with the computer. Similar object address may be shared by the two or more person, as we can see in the example. So you can see over here person P1 and person P2 class is mentioned over here, and another class is defined as address. So in same address is defined in the different class like a P1 and P2. Okay, composition represent exclusive relationship between two classes. Composition is a strong type of aggregation where the lifetime of the part class depend on the existence of the owner class. If an object of aggregating class is deleted, its a part class object also will deleted. For example, object of class person. Suppose object of class person name is deleted, so the class name attributes also deleted. Okay, so this one is owner class, person is owner class object is deleted, then the whatever the associate class attribute is also deleted. Okay, so you can see here, for example, when object of class person is deleted, the object class name is also deleted. Name is associated exclusively with single person. Okay, as I told you, this name class is associated with the person, okay, or owner class. And when how it's a relation with the composition relation. Okay, so that is symbol with the filled diamond. Okay, you can see it here in exam also asked the symbol of the composition, which is the filled diamond. Okay, and aggregation is without filling the diamond. Okay, in the given example, relation between class person and class name is composition relationship. Here the relation between name and person class is a composition. Okay, person class and class name is a composition relationship, where relationship between class person and class address is aggregation relationship. Okay, that means address may be shared by more than one person. Okay, you can see it over here in the previous diagram. The aggregation between person class and address class, that means there are different person having the different address. Okay, then you can see over here, address is aggregation relationship. Address may be shared by more than one person. So when person is deleted from the owner class, corresponding name object is deleted, but address cannot be deleted. Okay, that means while in composition, when we deleted the object name, attribute name is deleted, then associate class name is also deleted. In aggregation, if you deleted the address in the owner class, then address class is not deleted. Okay, so that is we can call as a aggregation. Okay, the class that contains object of other class is known as a owner class. Okay, or whole class or aggregating class. For example, the class person is a owner class, and that class that is contained in owner class is known as a subject class or part class or aggregated class. For example, the class name and address are the aggregated class. Okay, now we come to the another point is inheritance. Inheritance is generally referred as a kind of relationship between two class. Okay, that means two class is associated. Okay, let's see the example. It is appropriate when one class is kind of the other class. For example, teacher is a kind of the person. So here teacher is one class and person is one class. So teacher is a kind of the person. So all the attribute and method of the class person that are applicable to the class teacher, because teacher is a kind of person. So whatever the attribute and method is applicable to the person, whatever the attribute and method of the class person, that is applicable to the teacher class also. Okay, in other words, class teacher inherits all the attributes and behavior of the class person. The another way also you can say teacher class, that is the derived class or another class which inherit all the attribute and behavior of the class person. Okay, so class teacher may have additional attribute like subject and method like taking lecture of the subject. So in such scenario, you have to define using the class person. Okay, before we start to the diagram, inheritance refer to the capability of defining new class of object that inherits the characteristic of another existing class. Okay, here person is existing class, so here we define the new class teacher. Okay, so that new class is called as a subclass or child class or derived class, whereas the existing class is called as a superclass or parent class or base class. There are the different names. The data attribute and method of a superclass are available to object in subclass without rewriting the declaration. Okay, this feature provides reusability where existing method can be reused without the redefine. Additionally, new data method member can add it to the subclass as an extension. It allows the method to redefine in subclass as per need. Okay, so whatever the attributes is mentioned in the person class, so that we can inherit in the teacher class. So no need to define the separately. We can reusability of the existing method and existing attributes. In class diagram, inheritance is represented using the arrow pointing. Okay, you can see here, this one is single inheritance. Okay, there are two types of inheritance, single inheritance and multiple inheritance. Okay, in single inheritance you can see it, the we discuss over here, all the attribute and method of the class person are applicable to the class teacher. Okay, all the attributes that are available in the person, that is applicable to the teacher also. So this is the simple, or you can say the simple inheritance, or you can say single inheritance. In this example, person is a superclass. Okay, as we discuss in teacher class, we derive from the person class. Okay, same attribute available in the person class, we derived it, and the new class is teacher class, which is called as a subclass. Okay, now another one is multiple inheritance. Okay, that means what happened over here, there may be classical hierarchy of inheritance between classes. For example, class employee can be derived, class employee can be derived from class person. Okay, so whatever the attribute available in the person is inherited by the employee class. Okay, then class teacher can be derived from, class teacher can be defined from class employee. Here employee is a kind of person. Okay, employee is a kind of person and teacher is a kind of employee. Okay, such type of inheritance we can call as a multi-level inheritance. Okay, now the composition versus inheritance. In inheritance, class inheritance from other class in order to share, reuse or extend functionality. Here there exists a kind of relationship between superclass and subclass. Okay, here relationship between the superclass and subclass. In composition, class do not inherit from other class but are composed from other class, contains attribute where some attributes are object of other class types. Okay, in inheritance there are relationship between superclass and subclass but not inherit from the other class in composition. Okay, so thank you friends.